Reduce, reuse, and recycle. We hear and see this saying posted thousands of times, but are we truly protecting our world? According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA, recycling is the process of collecting and processing materials that would otherwise be thrown in the trash and taking and turning them into new products. Although one of the main reasons people do not recycle is because of the lack of knowledge of what to recycle, recycling is an extremely important factor in helping keep our world clean because it reduces the landfills, saves energy and money, and helps keep our climate problems under control. After much research, the number one reason people do not recycle is the lack of knowledge of what exactly should go into a recycling bin. But first, in order to fully understand what to recycle, we need to understand what recycling is. Recycling is a process of reusing a substance for biological activities through natural processes of biochemical degradation or modification. Basically, recycling is the use of taking materials and turning them into new products. However, since items that can be recycled cannot be biodegradable, meaning that these items cannot be broken down by bacteria, there are some restrictions on what we can recycle. For example, some items that can be recycled include plastics, such as water bottles and milk jugs, metals such as beverage cans, keys, and small car parts, paper, which includes books, cardboard, and computer paper, and electronic waste such as cameras, cell phones, DVRs, and VCRs. Although these are just a few examples of the materials that can be recycled, there are thousands of other items out there that can be recycled as well. The EPA estimates that 75% of trash is reusable or recyclable. If there is any confusion on what can be recycled, there is always the internet or phone a friend method in order to figure out what to recycle and how to help conserve our world. Let's face it, in today's world, people have a million things to do in a day's time. So why, people would ask, why am I going to recycle? Here are a few examples of why people do not recycle. Recycling may just be inconvenient. The amount of time and effort it takes to separate the trash from the recyclables, then having to wash out the recyclables, and then finally having to drop them off at a recycling bin somewhere in town is just too much of a hassle. With that being said, recyclables just take up too much space in the room. Having one trash can is enough, but having two separate trash cans just creates more clutter. People may also be misinformed about recycling in general. Because of the inability of being able to physically see landfills overflowing with trash, or the natural resources and habitats that are being destroyed because of the impact of global warming, we do not understand how beneficial it is just by recycling just one simple water bottle. Despite all of the reasons for why people do not recycle, or that is just not a part of their everyday lives, here is why recycling is so important. One reason is because recycling saves energy. Instead of having to use more energy, manufacturers do not have to produce something new from natural resources, but they can just recycle from old materials. According to the EPA, recycling just 10 plastic water bottles saves enough energy to power a laptop for 25 hours. Conserving trees also helps protect our wildlife. Without having to cut down trees, it helps reduce the need to destroy animal habitats. When recycling metals, it saves energy and it would make to take from the original source. For example, aluminum cans can be used to make other aluminum cans. Conserving energy helps save our natural resources. Another reason why recycling is so important is because of the reduction of energy leads to the saving of our money. The reduction of energy consumption helps the production costs down, which helps people keep a little bit of change in their pockets. According to the EPA, recycling diminishes the tremendous amount of waste and trash that gets sent into landfills. Instead of having trash pile up, recycling allows materials to be reused into other items. The last major reason recycling benefits our world is because of how much it helps keep our climate problems under control. The EPA says that the recycling produces less carbon and reduces the amount of greenhouse gases emissions that are released into our environment, ultimately creating less pollution. These are just a few examples of the many benefits that comes out of recycling. We are the key to help sustain a better world. Recycling is important for protecting our world so that our future children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren can be able to live in a clean, unpolluted society. Although recycling may seem inconvenient, the amount of energy and money that is saved, the reduction of the landfills, and the decline of climate problems help make that extra effort worth recycling worth it. Just remember, we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children.